to. The other option is that you can upload it. So if you click on upload, which is the top left option, you'll see that the upload top left option brings you to your computer or your OneDrive, and you can click to select an icon. So I'm going to change my classroom icon to the 21 and 21 logo. It pops it up there as a preview. I'm quite happy with how that looks. If I click on update, I now have an icon for my classroom wherever I go. Where if I go to my teams list, I can see the icon there has changed, and I've now got my graphic to show my class where to go for me. So that's number one, is getting to my team, getting to my class. If that's a teacher picture, if it's a classroom door icon, for example, that's where you want to be. That's number one. Number two, we're going to be looking at announcements. Now, you may or may not be familiar with Teams announcements, but this is an announcement here. We're looking at learning at home for today. The announcement icon, the little red circle with the announcement, the loud hailer icon, means it's been broadcast to everybody who's logged into Teams and in this channel. So by using the general channel and an announcement with a loud hailer, it will then broadcast it. And people will get a little red icon with a number or a dot in there to show that they've received an announcement or received something with their name on. And this saves you having to notify everybody by using @ signs and their names one by one. The other thing announcements do is it gives you this coloured top headline to stand out what's going on. Now, this is my announcement for the full day of learning, so I've just put the date in the top. You'll then notice some things you may not have seen before in Teams, which are the icons, the emojis, the graphics. I've got them along here, and this is almost my visual timetable for the day. So at a very low literacy level or at a quick glance, I can see I've got maths, I've got a pencil, which is what I know as English. I've got a question mark, which reflects my spelling, punctuation and grammar. And I've got a green one for class reading book. I've then got the text description. Now this is all well and good, but I can use these icons again elsewhere. I've got links here, but let's see how it all works together. If I wanted to, I could use the 3 dots in this top corner and I can pin an announcement. I can click pin on there. Pinning it will keep it at the top of the post, at the top of this scrolling long list. But personally, I don't use pinning very often because it gets confusing because people mainly go to the bottom for the most recent post instead of the top. So I'm going to unpin that post and let's crack on with something useful. How do I make an announcement with something big like this, some graphical timetable, and then details and links to my lessons? Let's start off. OK, let's start off with the graphics. You'll notice on my channels here, I've got a channel for class book, a channel for each of my subject areas, so English, maths and SPAG. But I've got a channel here called Zoo Life for my topic, but it doesn't have an icon. So where do I get the icons from? Well, when you create a channel at first, you can only put in basic text because Teams does a lot of work in the background to set up all your file names, and they don't like emojis very much. But once you've created a channel, you can then personalize it. So go to the 3 dots on the channel, and then go down to edit this channel, and you get the title up again. Now, it's going to be a keyboard shortcut time, so I hope you've got your fingers handy. It's the Windows and the full stop key is what you're going to be pressing. So hold down the Windows key and press the full stop key. You can use an on-screen keyboard instead if you've got an on-screen keyboard, and you can start to find emojis. So you can see here that I've recently used a tiger emoji. That's quite good for a Zoo Life. I can search through, I can click on these, and I can scroll up and down, I can find ones that I want. Or the alternative is I can just keep on typing. So I've done Windows and full stop. And if I start typing the word panda, I'll see I get a panda picture as well. I could search for other things. So I could search for bamboo. It's not really good bamboo, so I think I'll just stick with a tiger and a panda for now. So inserting an emoji that I want to do, click off the little pop-up, and I've now got Zoo Life with a tiger and a panda. That's pretty good emojis for Zoo Life. So if I click on save there, you'll notice it changes. So Zoo Life with a graphic to represent the zoo creatures. And I've got all of these icons here for maths and spelling, punctuation and grammar and English and class book all came from the same place. So the 3 dots, edit this channel, and then I used Windows key and full stop to bring up the emoji menu. Once you've used a few, the clock icon there is most recently used, just like on your phones. But the most useful ones I've found for symbols for maths and other subject areas is clicking on the heart, and that brings up just abstract symbols. Now, one thing I've not used today, but well, I'll tell you about briefly, there's the maths icons across there, is you could have coloured groups. Now, you might differentiate your groups by colour, so you might have different coloured classes or different coloured teams within our subgroups, and you can just do coloured work. You might have different coloured challenges, and you can use these coloured dots or coloured squares to your heart's content. And one thing you could do is you can differentiate the days by colour as well. So have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then children can see at a glance where their day's work is either scheduled to occur or where it's due. So that's the emojis, that's the icons, that's the graphics. I've now got my visual timetable here. How did I get that in there? Well, let's unpick this post and find out. I'm going to click on the three dots. And I'm going to click on edit. Now this is because the post already exists. I could just create a new post, but if I click on edit, I can find out that I've got the title bar up here. And if I wanted to do those colored days, I can make Monday blue. I can make Tuesday a purplish color or a different shade of lilac. Wednesday, Thursday, or if I wanted to do that instead of that, I can choose illustrations. And my illustrations can all be used from background images. Teams has a fair selection of background images to start with. It may be a bit slow because we're broadcasting live, but I could put dragons or bees or mountains or other things on there. One thing I like is the announcements is this one, because actually that's just sharing it out loud, and that'll be a non-standard lesson format. But I personally would go for a color per day and then use the announcements for special events and occasions, so assemblies, for example. So that is going to be a dark blue. Learning at home today. This section here, which has currently got 4 icons in, is a subtitle to the main title. And I can put emojis in here just the same as anything else. And if you look, I'm missing out my lesson 4, which is life at the zoo. Lesson 1's maths, that's in order. Lesson 2 English, lesson 3 spag, lesson 4. I'm going to click in that space so the cursor flashes. Windows and full stop, and I can pick from my emojis again. I'll click on my favorites, click on my recents, and I'm going to pick a tiger. Put my tiger in there, so now I've got zoo in place, and then I've got green book there for the class book at the end of the day, and I've now got my visual timetable supporting things. If I want to go one step further, I can go my lessons. I can do Windows full stop. I can use my recent ones. So maths is division. I've got the next one is English as prefixes. Don't worry, I'm not going to do emojis for everything. And I could go all the way down. It doesn't take too long actually, so I will just very briefly do this spag. Tiger. And the class book. So this now means that children can see at a glance what their full day ahead looks like. If I close that post, I just tick the tick there, and I can see there that I've actually got my lessons now are graphically supported, and you can see the icons going through step by step. That's really useful. The next thing I've got is I've got all these lessons are linked. So if I clicked on class 1, lesson 1, it takes me to the maths lesson. I can see it's a lesson about division. Now I don't have a big coloured bar there, but I do have a subtitle which says the date and the one-word description, a tag of what I'm doing. Today we're going to explore division, work through some examples and see if we can answer some challenge questions. I've got a link to a video, and that video is on BBC Bite Size. So actually it's a click on that link and it opens up BBC Bite Size in my browser, and it takes me straight to the page, straight to the video to watch. I'm not going to show that now, but you know where it would come from. Use the example of the attached PowerPoint to complete the questions in Word. Now these are just demonstration files, so I'll not open them. But these files, instead of sending a child to click on the Files tab and search in your folders if you've got them to find the right file name and click on it there, you just attach them to a post. So this is convenient because you've now got the lesson and you've got all the content for that lesson, all the resources for that lesson in a single place. How do I do that? Well, again, I'll just edit this post because it already exists. And I'm going to go down here to the paperclip, which we're all familiar with from emails for attachments. Click on the attach, and then when you attach, you can search from your computers in your Teams and channels, from your OneDrive or from your computer's hard drive. If you use those buttons there, you will get these pop-ups which take you straight to the things. And if you're uploading it from OneDrive or from your computer, it will save it in files for you automatically. You've now got all the content in one place, so a child can't stumble around your background files area trying to find the content. It's just in that post. Again, we've got the same in class book. It's slightly different. It's the end of the day, so it's literally click here to hear me read chapter 3, and then a link to a YouTube video. No graphics on this, no preview on this. It's just a link. It could be an audio file if you want to do that. For English, I've got a YouTube preview. Again, this lesson follows the same format, just the date in there because you're going to get a lot of boldness. In today's lesson, we'll be reviewing our understanding of prefixes and trying out a little quiz. So I've got prefixes with a short video, and when I feel confident, complete the quiz. Again, I click on the link and it pops out straight away in a new tab. And this is a Microsoft form. It's a very simple quiz. But if I get the right answer for one question and the wrong answer for another question, and submit it, because it's a quiz, I can review the results straight away. And as a teacher, I can mark which ones are correct. So that's done my marking for me. And it shows the correct answer here, and it shows incorrect answers. If I choose to, as a teacher, when I'm setting up a quiz in Microsoft Forms, I can use this area here to give feedback on incorrect answers to show how you've gone wrong and what you need to do to get it right. Now that's a whole layer of other things. I'll be covering it, I think, on the 5th of March in Microsoft Forms. So if you want to come back, then you can do. Well, that's how you'd insert a quiz. It's just a link to a web page. And then we've also got maths. We've seen already spelling, punctuation, and grammar. This is a new thought process. This is actually working on the reply button. So instead of children doing this and just leaving the work as a post or as an attachment, they can just click on reply and they can carry on the story. So this one here is about you must use some of your 6 items of grammar and carry on this story. And that means that everyone gets a chance to type in this message series, and we get to have a fun story at the same time. Bit of creative thinking as well as spelling, punctuation and grammar. If we want to, we've got Zoo Life here, and we can see there's a post. I've already written it, today's date, and my challenge is draw a picture of an animal in the wild, make a list of the things it needs to live, eat and be happy, and then creating the poster, then upload your picture of your poster as a reply below. So it's all there. It's all in one place. What children might want to do is make use of the emojis. Now I'm going to go back to the general. Before I go on back to the general channel, I've got a link from this Zoo Life to this lesson 4. Otherwise it's missing. So I go to Zoo Life and hover over. Now you may be using the emojis already to get children to engage with your posts and to show if they've done work by a thumbs up. But if you click on the 3 dots, you can look over along here for copy link. Copying link allows you to link from one channel to another channel. I'll go back to general, go up to today's learning and edit this post. And making a link is very simple. Just hover over the copy of the text, and in the top line next to the speech marks, you've got a link icon. By clicking on that chain link icon, I'm going to use another keyboard shortcut of Control V to paste, Control and V to paste it. That's a link to that exact post, and I click on insert and the text goes blue with an underline. Once I click on the tick there, it's now live, and the children will then be able to see my lessons. I've got a visual timetable with emojis. I've got links to the different subject areas, but I know exactly what needs to be done this day. And as soon as I've completed all 5 tasks, which is 4 lessons in the chat class book, I might have a teacher comment there saying heart or like when you've completed it. From a teacher's perspective, I can then hover over the icons and I can see the names of the people in my class who have responded and reported that. So that's been 21 minutes. It was a very quick whistle stop tour, but we've got time for questions and answers if you'd like them.